All right, so I put up a poll like on my Twitter, like what was that? Yesterday, the day before, about what to do tonight, and kind of cramping my leg. All right, so your options were, what were your options? Web design, mascot logo stuff, which Travis just did a really good stream on that last week. So we may not do that. Well, hold on. Rewind. That, what was the other option? Pattern design, because I like patterns. I love patterns. And then fourth was, I think, monsters. And I wanted to put another option, but Twitter wouldn't let me. So the consensus was mascot logo stuff and monsters were neck to neck for like the whole poll. So, but since Travis just did that mascot thing last week, that's, yeah, Cryptal. So, I decided to mix the two, but we're gonna do something just a hair different. So, I wanted to do, like, instead of full-blown mascot stuff, we're gonna work on more of a emblem logo badge thing. I'm gonna do a couple of them. We'll see what we get to. They both have monsters. They both have kind of that mascot feel, but I'm gonna try to go through, if I don't butcher it too badly, because I haven't touched Illustrator in a while and this might go all bad, but we're gonna do our best, right? And I want you guys to like to if you have Illustrator there, if you have a pencil and paper, I want you to try to like follow along a little bit if you want, if you can, and send me photos or screenshots or whatever to Twitter at Evan Eckerd, yeah, at and we'll see what you guys come up with. So, like, real quick, these were like the sketches, like one sketch that I was trying to figure out, right? And the it's not super clean. Messes the lighting all up. And where's the camera? Yeah, it's not super clean, but I was doing this from my kids' swim practice this morning. Bleachers were wet and soaked from rain. I didn't realize that until well after the fact. Good one for me. So I did a couple little sketches, and this is the one we're gonna do first. All right. So little monster faces. Yeah, and you might notice some things in there. You might notice something. If my camera will pick up. That says Josh Bruce. So if you guys know Inkbite, let me pull this up on stream real quick, actually, because I forgot about this. So I asked Josh, and I bookmarked it. Bookmarks. Where did it go? Let's see. You know what? I don't have one that just. Let's switch to that one. Okay. So Josh put this up. This was his 60-second warm up, and I asked him. I said, "Can I make like a mascot thing out of it?" And Josh, if you don't know Josh, he's a tremendous, tremendously talented illustrator. Goes by Inkbite or Josh Bruce. And he drew this thing one morning, and I messaged him right away going, "Dude, can I kind of steal that and make it into a mascot?" And he said, "Okay." So the first little emblem thing we're going to try to do is something along the lines of that guy. So here, we'll go back to here. So that's kind of right, and we're gonna try to turn that into like a circle emblem type thing. All right, so we'll switch back, and I'm probably gonna kill it in Illustrator, and by kill it I mean like it's not gonna turn out any way that's in my head, but we're gonna try to get close. Let's go back here. So yeah, so if you guys have like a sketch, you know, like think of like badges or shapes, circles, pentagons, shield shapes, hexagons, and we're just gonna kind of make like an enclosed little badge thing. So thanks, Aiden. Dolphins got to take off. All right, later. Making me blush, madam. Hey. I didn't check. So I think Monsters won. I didn't check the poll yesterday. But yeah, this is my native state, Aiden. So we're gonna create a new document, and we're just gonna kind of get started with this. And like I said, so what? If you draw something, if you sketch it out, send it to me on Twitter and let me know in the chat, and I'll look at it. I'm anxious to see what you guys come up with, and that's just kind of the plan. We're gonna make badge things, and you can have monsters in it, or you can have like whatever you want in there. And then we're gonna try to do some like text on a path, and try to lay out some text around it. So the first one I'm gonna get to is the one for Josh. So you know what? Before I do anything though, I'm gonna save this document before I really mess something up. And I like to turn on rulers all the time. So Control R if you're on a PC just turns rulers on. I wonder if there's a way to get Illustrator to load documents by default. Is there a way to load a document with rulers on already? I wonder what templates are. No, there probably is, but oh well. But Control R, you can toggle them on and off. It just helps me know where I'm at, kind of thing. So we're gonna zoom in a little bit. And I had so after I sketched this stuff in a notepad this morning, I tried to clean it up a little bit, and we're gonna save this one as a desktop. I went back and did kind of a digital sketch real quick, just to kind of get a better idea of where I wanted to put, like, because there's a lot of like contrast in these. Oh, I know where I put it. Let me put this over here so I can find it. These little badges have a lot of contrast, and I figured another cool thing we might do down the way is do a reversed version of it. So think of, you know, like printing a dark color on a light background, and then printing it in a light color on a dark background. And I figured we do like a t-shirt mock-up and just see what it looks like. So if I can find this file, where did it go? Ah, here it is. Okay, so there we go. So I had done this is real quick and dirty, but I went through and did just kind of some line work. So we're gonna start from this, but let's copy this out of here and put it in here. I'm gonna close this one up. And then I don't know if I centered this, so I guess we're gonna find out if this is aligned. So what I want to do is, since we're working on a circle, I'm gonna put some guides out. So if you just pull from the ruler, you can pull a guide out right there. And I'm gonna go to guides under view, and I'm gonna turn off lock, which the shortcut there looks like Alt Control plus the comma and a dot. Which, let's try that. Shift Control. I already forgot what did that do it? Can I select it? Ah, there we go. So since we're going to be working like on the center point of the canvas here, if you pull a couple guides out, and then we can center them up with the align window here. So I've got window, and then align is open here. We're going to use this one, Bink, and then that one's already aligned. And then we'll pull another guy down, and I can align this one vertically. So there we have the center point of our document here. So then I got to lock those guides back, or I'll delete them again. And now I can kind of like move this guy around to where I think more of the center was, and then just kind of start working from there. So let's see. I'm gonna dim the images on this layer, and I'm gonna dim them to, let's do, I don't know, 40. See what that looks like. So to do that, I think we went over this before, right? Where it was, you just double click on the layer, and the problem is my head is in the way. Hold on, I got one where I have a this one. There we go. Now you can see my palettes on the right. I can move this up a little bit. All right, so yeah, you just double click on the layer, and you see how you have this options dialog, and one of them is to dim images. So I just did that. You check it on, and you click okie dokie, and then boom, it's a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna lock this layer and actually work above it is what we're gonna do. So I'll create a new layer, and we'll just start working above this in a sec. What's up, Swammeat? Okay. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Photoshop used by illustrators and Illustrator used by designers, but that's fine. So Illustrator is like with vectors, so there's no quality loss when you zoom in or something. Yeah, so it's all like math coordinates, basically. So when you draw a shape, boop, like this, it's gonna retain the points. So the 4 points, it builds a shape, and you can zoom all the way in and never lose resolution. Nothing's gonna blur on you or whatnot like pixels will. So it doesn't use pixel information, it uses point information. And because of that, you can draw stuff in here and then scale it way up or way down, and it will always stay super sharp and clear. It's basically the best method to make like high res or like large format graphics, and for stuff to get to retain their shape when they're scaled to each end of the extreme. If that made any sense. Everybody say hi to Swam Meat. We got him back. Let's see. And then Blue Buddha, and then Photoshop, you know, it's all pixel based. So if you want to do stuff like painting, messing with photos, anything that has to do with each little pixel having its own color, then use Photoshop. I know Robot Vector. What's up, buddy? Yeah, almost. Yeah, no worries, Blue. And thank you, Anna, for keeping us all in check. Anna's got a book out. You guys got to go. Anna, you got to post your link. She did a children's book. You guys got to check it out. It's really cool. I already got mine ordered. There's Craig. What's up, Craig? Password. Well, if you're like me, every password reset process takes like half an hour because I keep forgetting and I can't punch anything in right. All right, so, and this looks kind of plain now, but if you saw the, and there's kind of just mishmash of stuff in here, but I'm planning on putting text around this. So we're gonna put text on a path, and I thought I could do something like I'm gonna write Josh's name and write warming up, because when he did this design, it was from a warm-up session, so him just working out the kinks. You posted a link. Let me check. Where'd it go? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. The only maybe the only thing is there. It's kind of you got a harsh kind of shadow on the left side on his shoulder, and then maybe play with the type a little bit more, give it a little more breathing room. So like the edges, the white background behind the lettering has a little more space around it to make it easier on the eyeballs. But yeah, I like it. All right, so let's see if we can break Illustrator again. We almost did last time, or I almost did. That's what I always do. Break stuff. All right, so I want this. I'm gonna start on the little face thing first, and if you notice, most of the outside shape is symmetrical, which is it's not cheating. It's a good method to just make it, allow yourself to work on both sides evenly, and do stuff like spacing text later. So let's see. We'll start on his noggin here, and we're gonna use the old pen tool just per usual, and we might do we might throw some color on this. I'm not sure yet, but we're gonna start in. That's not magenta, is it? That's RGB magenta. Where is? I like that one. All right. Yeah, I tried Urban. I tried using. Friend of mine was asking me to look into or to help with a document that was built with vector shapes in Photoshop. and it works very differently. It does retain vector information, but like when I went to open it up in Illustrator, I wasn't quite understanding how it was working. It was a little bit different. So if you do play around with that, yeah, just be aware that it does act a little bit different. And some of these curves are going to be messed up from the get-go. We'll come back and fix them. So when using the pen tool like this, and if you find yourself in a spot where you need to go a different direction after putting the point down, if you hold Alt, and you might see how your cursor turns into kind of an arrowhead type thing, and then click on that point. Oh, and then Mason was telling me a different method, right? If you just hold Alt, is it just Alt? You can, what was it last time? I forget what Mason said. I'm so used to doing it this way. There's another method too, but if you hold Alt and click on it, it will change that point and take off one of the handles. So I'm gonna go like this, and we're gonna start with his mouth here. Well, his teeth. He doesn't really have a mouth. He just has teeth. And then if you press Control C to copy and then Control F, you can paste right in front like that. And then I'm going to flip this, transform, reflect on the vertical axis, and grab it and move it over. Let's see. And I might need, you know what? Do I have snapping off? Is that what's going on here? All right. Okay. So how was your guys' week? It's been like a whole 7 days. I was out of town for most of the week, so wasn't caught up on stuff. But what are you guys up to? Zane, we're gonna make like emblem stuff. It's because every vector shape in Photoshop are a new. Yeah, it does. Or no, sometimes it puts them on the same layer. I still don't quite understand how it works. I haven't. Like I said, I haven't really dug into that one. Hayden. Yeah, there's Anna's book. Check out that link that Anna just posted. She did a book, man. It's cool. Let's see. Worked all week till today. Nice. Almost done with semester. Ooh. When's the semester over? Craig. Let's see. You know what? This shape back here, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I might actually overlap these shapes. And then we will do offset path for one of them. So last time I dove into Illustrator, I was trying to vectorize one of my old odd series drawings, and about 75% the way through the stream, I realized something like that's a little big to try to like to try to do in 3 hours. So hopefully something like this will be able to put a major dent in it. And I want to get to the second one too, so we'll get Josh's done, and you know, stop me along the way if you need me to answer questions or whatever. But then I want to get to that other one that I was drawing up. And let's see. And this, I think, is an ear. So I will kind of go like this, and we'll shoot straight up there. And then on both sides of the head, this little point area is the same. So what I'll probably do is we'll go like this, and then we'll just yank out chunks in the middle. There we go. For actually, I'm gonna hold Shift. If I hold Shift, oh, not yet. If I click and hold Shift, I can drag out on a, see how that the handles stay horizontal. If I move, they stay on a 90 or 45 degree angle. So that way when I connect it again, when I copy this piece, flip it, and then connect those points up, they should connect pretty evenly because they're not going different directions. Do you like that? My illustration? Do you use I'm using mouse and keyboard at the moment. I love using the Option key to copy and paste in Adobe. Yes. When I learned Control F to paste in front, that was the biggest light bulb that went off on top of my noggin. Let's see. Hectic week, but got some visual push-ups done this morning. Nice. You crypto you're drawing, Tom. That's cool. Tweeted at him. He loves that stuff. Last final was April 29th. Wait. Okay, so then you're done with your quarter. A few times I have caught you working on something on here design-wise. Oh. What have I been working on here that's not been design-wise? Swifty's another cool artist that I follow. You should check out his stuff. He likes to draw vector artwork too, and it's pretty slick. So I'm going to take a copy of this teeth here because I'm going to need it later. And if you tuned in last week, you might remember Travis talking about making copies of stuff too, because you might need them later. So we're going to do something like this because I want this whole shape. And let's see, is there anything I want to clean up first? Control C, Control F, object transform, reflect. Another thing we're going to focus on this design is line consistency, and we're going to try to work with some like bigger, thick lines. So to try to make it look cool. So also when you're joining pixels, if I zoom in, you'll see that I'm selecting, and I happen to pick a color where the layer is the same color, almost. Let's go to light blue. So you'll see when I select a couple pixels here, they're not. You see how they're not connected? There's a little white gap in here. So we're gonna connect those up, but what you got to do first is you got to average them out, because sometimes if you don't, averaging the pixels out will put one pixel right on, or 1 point, not pixel point. We'll put 1 point right on top of each other. So when you join them, they will be 1 point. If you were to just take the 2 points and join them, it'll make a Illustrator will put it'll put another line from point to point. So you won't get just one single point. So to do that, you hit Control Alt J, and that brings up average. You want to average on both axes. If you do horizontal and vertical, if you just pick an axis, it'll just I think it just aligns them up wherever that axis is. But if you do both, that'll put both right on top of each other. So if I hit OK, you didn't see a visual change because I got them pretty close. But now if I hit Control J to join them, you'll see it's just 1 point. So now I should have two shapes here. So I'm gonna kind of go like this, and we're gonna go ahead and merge these up. So I'm gonna go to Pathfinder, and it's that first one, top left one. Pathfinder to me, it used to be very much like, do I feel lucky? I hit all the buttons until it did the one I wanted it to, and I have to undo everything. But slowly getting around to what's what. So if you press the top left one, I just merge those shapes together. And we're going to keep on motoring. Let me check the Twitter real quick, see if you guys sent me anything. Oh, come on, guys. Send me stuff. I know it's only been like 2 seconds. Let's see. All right. So, if you can't tell, my favorite color is magenta. I'm going to go back to an outline mode so I can see what we're drawing here. And we're going to draw some more shapes because I got the top here, his hair is kind of going away from his head, and it's not, what do you call it, symmetrical. There's a ground squirrel running across my fence. All right, that was very much a squirrel. feel like the dog from Up. Okay. So we're gonna go like this, and I want to take a notch out of here. I'm trying to think of the best method to do this. I'm going to go ahead and merge these up. I got an itch. So I don't have ADD, Aiden. I can focus on many things at once. Yeah, Swifty, the shape tool is something that I've been putting off. I need to get into it and figure it out. So this here, and then I'm gonna do this manually actually. Range, send it back. Actually, let's divide this stuff up. So I'll do both shapes and divide. Actually, yeah, let's see if I got it. Ungroup. There we go. And then select them all again. Make sure I got everything. And we'll merge them back together. All right, from this point, it's kind of an off point here. Clean that up. You zoom in and see this handle here. Oh, we got a straight point. My sketchbook is trying to eat me. All right, sit over here. Give that a little more curve. You know what? Let's try. Just gonna get rid of one. We got a bunch of points stacked up over here. All right. There we go. Clean that up a little bit. All right, that was focus mode. All right, now let's go and clean these curves up so we have our shapes how we want them. Get rid of that point. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep like talking so you guys don't think I've totally just lost it and left. But sometimes I have to focus, and if I don't, like, things will go really bad. There we go. All right, so what are we supposed to send you? Okay, so we're doing little logo emblem things. Let me bring up my sketchbook. Let me reach. All right, so this is the first one. We want to do, so if you guys want to follow along and sketch out something like an emblem thing, right? So you can have something in the middle that's kind of a focus if you want, and then enclosed in a shape. And then as we go through, we're going to be like putting text and filigree and stars and dots and icons and stuff in there to kind of build these little emblem things. And it's just like stuff that you think is cool, is fun. If you and I'm not saying you have to like jump in and vector it up. If you want to, that's cool. But if you just want to like sketch something out and just take a photo and send me the sketch, I'll share them on stream, and we can check them out. Send it to me at Twitter at Evan Eckerd, and tell me in the chat. That's what I was trying to think of. We ain't got no donut yet. We're getting there. All right. Did you guys see my brain turn off? Swifty, have you been streaming lately? I've been meaning to. I haven't seen the little notification come up in my email. I gotta make some space here. No, we might get a donut in there. I don't know yet. Sorry, I gotta change my screen back. Hold on. There we go. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting here working and it's be like, oh yeah, look, he's just like not paying attention, just working on something. All right, let's do this bottom jaw too. And before I forget, I'm gonna bring this to the front. Object, arrange, and we can do it through here. Bring to front. I'm gonna move this back into place, just so I don't lose it. And then let's go ahead and do his bottom teeth. And we will do a divide method on here too. So I'm gonna grab a pen tool and let's start pathing this out. Dun, dun, dun. This stuff, it can be kind of tedious, but and the end product makes up for all of that time spent. It's cool to see this stuff in vector and see it like super cleaned up and just super crisp. All right, got those shapes. Let's come back up here and get these teeth. Man, Josh put a ton of teeth on this dude. Like this. So what else you guys been doing lately? Like, you guys watching many movies or anything lately? My portfolio is oh wait, whose portfolio? Bunch of various. Oh, nice, Swifty. If you can show us sneak peeks at some time, I want to see. All right, so same thing. Is this laptop plugged in? All right, so I'm gonna copy this. Control C, Control F to paste in front. Object, transform, reflect, vertical, yes, and we'll move this over here, and you can toggle on, I guess it's snapping, is that what it's called? Shortcut is Control U, I think it's under View, Guides, it's Smart Guides. Okay, so Smart Guides allows you to, if you see, like, I'm holding shift and as I get closer, it's not doing anything, right? It's just letting me, it's just letting me move it. If I press Control U and turn Smart Guides on, and then hold Shift and drag, see how it starts to give you kind of like these guides? Like you're seeing the intersect line pop up there, and it's snapping to the guide slightly on the layer below it. Or I don't know if it's snapping to the guide because it's on a lock layer. It might be just snapping to this point. But then you can get more accurate. And for your points, to join them up like that. Pitch perfect. Started watching Max. What is Max? Now, have you seen The Max from MTV? Well, stop. The comic book, The Max, and then MTV did the animation, The Max, in like what was that, late 90s, early 2000s. Awesome storytelling. Man, Mad Max is even better. Well, maybe not even better, but it's up there. You blew up your toaster. I want to hear all about that. All right, so we have our cat thing. And let's go ahead and we're going to offset path here. Make sure I've just got this one selected. And we're going to object, is it raining it? Path, offset path to make the outline. And this we're going to keep a note of. So we want to keep a note of what we offset these paths by because we might need to use it later. So 10 looks a little big. Let's try 6. 6 looks pretty close. And I'm going to change the joint to rounded. This is what I totally forgot last time. Because do I want rounded or do I want sharp? I think, let's look at Josh's drawing again. Zach, that's cool. So, I got to show this. So Zach's got a shark that he's working on. Hypro. What is Hypro? Sounds cool. That's pretty cool. Right on. You got it like enclosed, except he's getting the action's got his arm breaking out there. Let's see. I was gonna pull up Josh's dude. I'll keep that on a separate tab so I can just keep pulling it in here. So Josh had this cat, right? This is his cat. He kept it pretty sharp. Maybe we should keep it pretty sharp for the time being. Decisions, man. I guess we might be able to come back later, and if we wanted to like really redo it, we can make it rounded. We'll just keep it sharp for now. Okay, so then we're gonna change that to black. There we go. And we're gonna move all this object, arrange, send it back. All right, so now we have, where does teeth go? Let me lock these. I didn't select it. All right, there we go. Turn the teeth. He had the teeth the same color, but just turn them white for now, just so we can see what we're working on here. So we did the offset path thing, right? And the original, if you notice on the original one I had, I tried to keep all the line widths the same. So let's see if this is gonna work. We might have to go back and offset the path again and redo it if it was too thick. But we're gonna offset path here. Object, path, offset path. We did 6. Let's preview it. Do you want to keep it? Let's change that to black. It might be kind of cool. I actually like it really thick, like super thick lines. We'll see how that turns out. What do we got? Imagine, what is this? A butcher shop that is an ice cream shop? It's called, imagine a butcher shop and an ice cream shop have a kid. That sounds a little crazy. I want to see this. That sounds cool. What's up, Sora? Your name sounds familiar. I know you. Oh, Max is the dog movie. Okay. I remember seeing a trailer for it. Oh yeah, is that any good? Oh. I'm out of coffee. All right, I'm gonna keep checking Twitter here and there. I see GFX alert. You in here? Everybody's tuning in. There's a bottle rack, and I put a bottle up. 5 minutes later, started to drip onto the toaster, which was on. Oh, that's bad. The movie was bad. I've been trying to get out to see Superman, and I've heard that it's, I heard a lot of mixed things about it, but I don't know. Even if it's chaotic, maybe that's good for me because I'm always like all over the place. So you know what I mean. Die action. All right, you guys. If you check out the odd video I did on YouTube, not the one for Laputa, but the one before, which was just the yellow bird thing. Die action did the or is it D action? You gotta correct me. I always butcher names. He did the music to it, so check him out. Definitely check him out and give him a listen. You're on SoundCloud, right? Because a bunch of your stuff's on SoundCloud. Search for him on SoundCloud. All right, what am I missing here? Missing brain cells is what I'm missing. Okay, so let's get back to this. Did you see my cheeky little icon for Inkbite? Even though he's BYTE, if you just change it to BITE, you could do a bite taking out of a drop of ink. I used to watch a personal stream 2 years ago. Man, that really? Green and red. And, oh, nice. Nice. Right on. Man, 2 years. That's been That's been a while. All right, I'm gonna like flip all these back so I can see his eyeballs because we're gonna work on his eyes next. And I broke something. Broke it. Oh, these are locked. Object. Unlock all. So I have a tendency to lock objects so I don't mess them up later. And you know what? Let's leave this one like that though, because we got to do these. We got to draw in his little the corners of his little smile. So let's do that. So action, dude. I want to use another one of your tracks. I know you gave me that other one, but I gotta. I want to put another one up, another video here soon. And since I'm solo tonight, I might put this stream here on the channel at some point, in case people miss it. All right, so let's go like this. Give that corner kind of a. And oh look, there's 2 points there. Imagine that. I can just drag it down like that. All right, so transform, reflect. Oh, hey, Control C, Control F, object, transform, reflect. Yep. So let's see. Oh, did you see? Did you see the? Were you at Insomnia? Nice. One of these years I want to go. One of these years. Me and flights don't get along though. I have been to England before. I got kicked out of Stonehenge, so you know. Apparently, you're not supposed to touch it. Brody, I saw that before. So Brody, not a monster, but is there a way to configure the stroke to point at the bottom of the V, but round the ends? What do you mean round the ends, Brody? Maybe like sketch on there what you mean by round the ends. Sorry, Brody, I'm looking at the Twitter post you just sent at me. Whoever Mr. Godina is on Twitter, I like your logo. It looks cool. Arthur, we might get a donut in there. I don't know. All right, before we get like too derailed, let's get his nostrils. See if you saw. Let's pull this over. He's got little tiny nostrils. They're just barely. I think the thing's a cat. Maybe, maybe not. We think it is. We're gonna say it's a kind of sort of a cat. We're just gonna go with start with a circle, and we're gonna add to it. So we're just gonna kind of work with this circle a little bit, add some shapes top of it. So when you're kind of building on shapes, I'm not an expert, but one thing I like to do is when you draw out a curve, match like the direction that path is going from the get-go, and then all your curves look a little more like they're supposed to be there. Except this one I'm having a hard time grabbing it, probably right here. And then I can select all these. Let me make sure I did just get those. Okay. I have a tendency to, like, when I'm zoomed in and go to select stuff and I don't realize that I've selected a whole bunch of other stuff around it. So we're going to go back to Pathfinder and we're going to put those up. And see, as I was telling you to follow the path, I messed it up. Gotta love it. All right. I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing here. It was, you may not have caught it, but I saw it looked a little, like, weird. Come off the nostril like so. That. And merge. There, we got one nostril. And you had one nostril bigger than the other one. So we're just going to simply Control C, Control F. We're going to go in shortcut mode. Move this over, kind of shrink it down. I'm going to select them both, Control G to group them, and then you can come to align. And as long as you have align to artboard on, you can just align those up to the center there. There we go. So let's zoom out and see how our cat thing's looking. And we're running on about 50 minutes on this one, and I think we started kind of late though, right? Swifty, you got to stream some more, bud. How do you combine two separate anchor points? Etch a sketch. Yep. Etch the sketch. Sorry. Okay, so 2 points, right? So say you have let's do it like this. All right, so say you have a shape like that. So you got these 2 points you want to join. Select them both. So I'm using the direct select tool. Select them both, or you can use a little lasso thing like that. Control Alt J for average, and actually let's look for it. You know, I got used to the shortcut and I forget where it hides in the menu. Is it under Object? It's probably under Path, Average. There you go. So Control Alt J will bring up this dialog, and if you want the points right on top of each other, you select both and hit OK. So then we just made our triangle, right? So, but they're not. They're both still selected, but they're not joined yet. So then you press Control J, and it didn't look like it did anything, but it joined it. So if I grab, it's just one path now, and that's also under Object Path Join. So average them and then join. That's how you do that one. So like that. Yep. Hope that did it. Catching up. I might mainly buy Syndicate original. Oh, that's awesome, Crypto. Do you see behind me? I managed to snag one of the crew necks before they all left, and we're getting those restocked. So, and actually, there you go. If you want, like, that is an Illustrator file. That crew neck back there. Hold on, because I don't want to get up and pick it up. So that sweatshirt on my chair back there. If I can get right. You see the flag thing? That is a vector file. So that's why you use Illustrator. Now the printer can like blow it up and shrink it down wherever he wants to before he prints them on a shirt. No problem, Mitch. Glad I could help you, bud. If you have any other questions, definitely ask. Dude, I did it the hard way for way too many years, and then yeah, when I saw average, it was like, how could I have missed this for so many years? And I mean years. All right, Aiden, are you lazy? You turning it into me? All right, so we got the nostril done. Let's work on these eyeballs. These eyes are going to be kind of tricky a little bit. What we're going to do is we'll probably do the out. All right. I'm thinking we might want to draw the whites of his eyes and then do offset paths so we match what we got going on here. And I think it was 6 pixels, right? I'm gonna write this down before I forget. So 6 pixels. Write that on your notepad. So that way when we offset path again, it will all be consistent. I talked about that. I forget where I talked about that before, about keeping, like, if you're going to work with lines and whatnot, it helps to keep a line consistency. That way the piece feels more like it belongs all together. So, you know, pick just a few line widths and try to just work within those. There we go. I don't know if I'm gonna attempt to clean this up just a hair while I'm working on it. When I sketched it, it did not go so well. Accelerator, screen print too. Yeah, Swifty. I mean, that's it's yeah. GFX, you going to sleep later, bud? Yeah. You got that bright green username on my screen. I can't see it. Though my chat was in dark mode. What happened? Hold on, hold on. There, now I can see everybody. All right, that's better. Yeah, screen printing, because then screen printers can also do stuff like what is it, trapping? Like if they need to like give something a little more outline so it'll print better. If you guys actually, you might be interested in this. So, Illustrator also helps for stuff like, let's talk screen printing a little bit. So, if any of you have seen the flag artwork that I did for Tom, the stars of the U.S. side of the flag illustration are little lion heads, right? And we went back and forth. The printer and I went back and forth a lot on that because it's hard to get that much detail out of those little lion heads in such a small area. So, because the file that the printer could work from was a vector file, he was able to get detail out of those lions by manipulating the path information. So, like, a trick he did was he printed the lion heads in white on black shirts, and then he printed an outline, a black outline of the lion head on top of it. So the way the ink came, the way the white ink fell on the shirt, there was a chance it could bleed just slightly. So what he did was he printed an outline back on top of it, just it's barely any ink on there, but enough to put the detail back in. But he was able to do all that because he had the Illustrator dock. So he could easily go in and adjust all that stuff and get super detailed lion heads out of it. All right, so let's change these to white, object, path, offset path. Wow, that one's kind of big, but we're going to keep it. So let's go like that. We might actually have to... We're going to do that again because that's huge. So this eye, both these eyes, let's kind of size them down. All right. Object, path, offset path. No, not outline stroke. Object, path, offset path. Preview. It's still big, but we can work with it now. All right. So change this to black. And let's go ahead and pen tool it up. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oop, oop. I didn't mean to do that. How do I want to do this curve? No, let's let that one go. Switch this to outline so I can see what I'm doing. Some people, if they want to, get a better idea of where their lines are going, you can actually switch to outline mode by just pressing Control Y and get into this. But I don't know. I'm used to just keeping it in this method. All right, let's. That. Change directions. This. So you might like outline mode. If you haven't tried it, give it a try and see. I don't know. It might work better for you. And sorry, I'm getting quiet. I got my thinking cap on to figure out where I want these lines to land. It takes all that focus. And I gotta hold Alt because that. Alright. Select that. Object. Range. Send back. Let's zoom out and see just how terrible it looks. That looks pretty cool. Mm. No way, Sora. Really? You, man. That is cool. It also kind of scares me how long that this whole YouTube Twitch thing has been going on. That I've been involved with it. It's kind of strange. I honestly wasn't sure if I'd still be doing this. You know, just the video format stuff. That long ago. Let's see. So Brody. So Brody's asking how to corner this part. Let's see, how would I tackle this? Because you want to keep down here sharp, right? So if you were to do, so say we had, like this, right? Transform, reflect. See if we can figure out a method to do this real quick. All right, and I'm going to join these up. Control J. So say you have this yellow, like, or your gold that you had going on here. You could go, if you're just trying to do the top, I guess you could go, you could offset path. Probably turn the meter limit up. Let's try 8. I think these will be about the same, right? So, yeah, 8. If we did that, we hit OK, right? So this should be close to what you have, right? And then it looks like you have this point pulled back. So if you just wanted to round it, I guess what you could do is you could select these 2 points with the direct select, and then up at the top you have corners, and you could round it that way if that's what you're trying to do. That seems awfully big though. Well, you didn't have. I mean, that's one method, depending on how you wanted to round them. But you have such a sharp angle. Another method, I don't know, you can put it, well, because you just want these corners. Maybe you could do object, path. Would be the best, because I see what you're trying to do. Well, you didn't offset path that far. I'm doing it a lot thicker than you have it. So object, path, offset path. You have it more like half that. 3. So it wouldn't look too far off. Yeah, I guess that might be your best method. To just use corners. You can kind of do that. You might be able to grab all of these corners. And just for consistency, I don't know if you want to, I don't know if this is what you're shooting for, but if you like, you know, you round the corners of the yellow one in front of it to like, I don't know, 2 pixels, then you do the corner that was behind it. You know, like double that. I guess that's one method you could do, outside of just drawing it. Yep. Catching up on the chat. Well, yeah, you could see, you could cap the stroke, but where he's got it, it looks like he just wants to grab these top 2. If you want to do the bottom one, you can't cap on one point though, right? I guess you could like outline stroke after and then sharpen it up. So you could do outside round it. But see, if I try to, yeah, you'd have to just draw more into it. Right, because then you need to, like now, if I go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, it makes that a shape. Like if I grab this, it's going to start to bend that corner. I guess you go that way. If you don't go too far, like, because you see this last point, the directions are going to start going the wrong way. Like if you go too far, see how you get that kind of, that turn there? But then you'd have to go back in and like get rid of these and just kind of like eyeball it. And eyeballing it is a technical term, people. Right? I don't know. You do something like that. But let's get back to the cat. Yeah, expand it and then just kind of like sharpen the sides you want. Crypt, if you ordered it Monday, it's gonna go out Monday. I was out of town all week, so I apologize for that. I missed I wasn't home where the prints are and couldn't send them out, so they should go out on Monday. Yeah, sorry for the holdup. They're all over here, and I was nowhere near here. I was stuck in a hotel room that it doubled as a handicap hotel room, which there's nothing wrong with that. But this specific hotel room had the the shower head was on a rail and only went up like 3 feet, and I'm 6 foot. So that was a little bit interesting. That like point the shower head at like the ceiling and like reflect it back on myself. There's some adventure involved, but what can you do? So yeah, so those will get sent out on Monday. I send it out tomorrow, but there's no mail tomorrow. Let's see. Let's try. He almost looks like a bandit. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and merge these together. Grab all these. This is gonna do like that. G, align. Excuse me. Actually, let's ungroup. And we're gonna do a highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this highlight out. Let's align both of these so I can see it. Pathfinder, trim, ungroup, get rid of that part, move this back. Pupil's a little big. Control G, and then I can align that. And it looks off. One of his eyes is too far over. There we go. All right, so now let's flip all of this stuff back so we can see where we're at. And then let's do the bottom, and we'll get to, we may not even get to the other one. We'll just, we'll get it started. So the bottom one here. Let's see. Oh, nice, Brody. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's funny. There's a lot of different ways to, like, do something. Advice in school and a path and art way back. Funny enough, I decided to take the college course of architecture. Ooh. Sorry, architecture. That's cool. Nice. I'd like to know where what school you're going to for that. Reason being before my brain shut off, there's a school in California that I think, well, at least when I was growing up, they were like like well known for architecture, and it was California Polytechnic, Cal Poly. Is it just California Polytechnic? I'm gonna look it up real quick. They're over in San Luis Obispo, California. Polytechnic University, State University. And they supposedly had some really good architecture courses. But yeah, go to school on the beach, or pretty close to the beach. All right, so probably wondering why I drew this line in here. We're going to use this to divide against the shape that we have back here. And I wonder if we can get away with something here. So watch this. I don't know if you guys have used line profiles or stroke profiles, actually. Synapse on right now. So see this little like shadow under his lip? We might use a stroke profile there and see how that works. But first, Control C, Control F, Object Transform. If you guys are drawing any sketches, Twitter them at me. I want to check them out. Like that. I'm going to join these up. Control Alt J for average and Control J. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn this outline black. And we're going to, since it's one big, it should be the same as his mouth here. But since we are in points, you know what? Can I change that? Edit. Where is it? Preferences. Units. Is it under units? Stroke. I'm going to change this to pixels for now. Like that. So then I can just punch in 6 and have the same. Alright, so see how it's just one big consistent line? So you can go and outline this path, outline stroke, and you got a shape. Then if I transform this and click divide on Pathfinder, or actually trim, right click, ungroup, boom. We have his lip knocked out there. All right, so if you've ever used stroke profiles, this is kind of cool. So we're gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna draw half the curve. So I'll get right on the guide here, hold shift and drag out a curve. And Control C, Control F, and Object Transform, Reflect. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. So select those 2 points, Control Alt J to average, and then Control J to join. So let's go ahead and turn this to a black outline and bump it up. On the stroke palette, so Window, Stroke, Control F10, you get this little palette over here on my right. And we're going to bump up the weight, we'll bump it up to 6. Excuse me. Then down here in this drop down, I think you might have to turn options on. Yeah, if you don't see it, this little button to the right, click on that and click show options, right? You have this profile drop down, and there's some cool profiles under here. We might be able to use this top one. And what this will do is it will like taper the ends or like play with the widths of the stroke. So if I go like that, there we go. It made that a little bit easier. See? So I'm using a profile that has tapered on both ends. And that just made my job a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go with that. Control C, Control F, because I had another one right below. We're going to shrink that one down. And we're going to bring that down a little bit. And the corners, I'm just going to mouse them down once. Alright, so object, path, outline stroke, merge those together, and then we're going to trim it again, ungroup. There we go. So now we should have the bottom jaw here, and now we can start doing the outside frame and some lettering. So here though, object, path, offset path, we want 6 pixels. Preview it. Meter, I think I had it on, what's the default, 4? I don't think it matters for this, but, and we'll change that to black. There we go. And it's kind of funky right there. I'm not too worried about it though because it's just going to be a black background behind it. But if I ever wanted to use this, let's just go ahead and pull this in. I think we can. Like that. I'm just going to pull those points together. That gives us kind of a cleaner edge there. There we go. These teeth. And he's pretty mean looking. Save. Let's check the chat. Yep. What are you posting? Let's see. Nice, Justin. Dun, dun, dun. Set the center to your guideline. I think I missed that one. You live in Ireland. That's why your name is familiar, Sora. Okay, yep. I remember. UCD. Check Twitter. What do you got for me, Urban? I'm not seeing it, bud. Check what on Twitter? Looking. Let's see. Ooh, I've seen this before. This is cool. You guys check this out. That's pretty cool how it's enclosed. Yep, so you made a shape and then looks like you might have offset path to get the outline and then use the shape to crop what you had in here, right? Can you turn a 2-point outline into a fill path? Let me see if I understand what you're asking. A 2-point line into a fill path. Do you mean like kind of what I just did where you have like just one line? You can give it, you can give a stroke weight to it like that. Is that what you mean? Because then it's a 2-point fill. You can, as you did the chin, basically how you did the chin. Oh, okay. So if you draw a line and you give it, you give it a weight, a thickness, you can go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. And once I click this, it's going to turn it into a polygon, right? It outlined that path. So the path information's, or not the path, the original 2-point path information's gone though, but because you just made it a shape. But yeah, so anytime you have just a path, if you thicken up the stroke, you can offset it, or not offset it, you can outline it, and then you can work with it like any other shape. Awesome. All right, cool. Let's keep motoring. I wanted to write 60-minute on either side, but I feel like we should do the background first and go ahead and put text back there and see how it's going to look. Arrange, send it back. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have a habit of like, I'll sketch something out, and since my sketch, the lines are like not, they're kind of all over the place. When I go back and vector it, I realize there was, like, I left more room in the sketch than I could have put in the final illustration. So, oh, you direct messaged me. Okay, so yeah, you got like the where'd it go? I didn't put 2 and 2 on your name together. So you're playing around with the gradient tool. Yep, and some masking. Which version of Photoshop you playing in? This looks a little vintage. Is it? What? No. You just have the light theme on. Yeah, playing with masks, gradient. I'm curious what blend mode are you using here? Are you using screen or lighten, or like one of the soft lights or something? This is a cool effect to get metal and whatnot. Like if you want to do something else to get a little more texture on here, above your mask layer, do a layer of 50% gray, and then fill that in with like, so you have one solid area of gray, right? Then what you do is run the filter noise and add noise at like 2 or 3%, and you'll get like a Gaussian monochromatic, and you get like it look like parchment paper almost. So you take that, and then you run a blur on it. You run motion blur and go. You can make the motion blur. It's just got to be the directional, not the zoom or whatever. And just pick a direction. Like this might look at it like a 45-degree angle. And then after you set that filter, set this new layer to blend mode of like overlay, and then it'll give it a metal texture, and so you'll get more of that. This will start to look like more of like a you know, that like metal that has just the streaks in it, where it looks a little bit worn. So you can do that, and that'll give you some texture. It'd be kind of cool. You also play with some layer styles, and maybe give it a slight shadow on the inside if you're going for like a, you know, like a real, like more of a shield look. But yeah, there we go. All right, let me refresh Twitter. All right, so let's figure out some type here. I'm going to make another copy here of this circle, and we're going to find our outline. All right. So I'm going to write Josh's name here. Whether or not that's all going to line up very well, we'll see. So I'm going to make a copy of this circle I just did. Control-C, Control-F. And which I should have done before. I thought I did. I lost the interior circle here. And we'll play around with this shape. I'm also holding Alt and Shift while scaling these up and down, because it's scaling from the center point, and I know it's centered. Let's double check. We'll line it up. Line. So I'm scaling it from the center point. So Control-C, Control-F. And let's play around with typing on a path. All right. So before we do that, I'm going to select everything but the circles. I'm going to group it, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it. So to lock, you can go, it's Object, Lock, and Selection, or just get used to pressing Control-2. And that way I can't click on, you know, I can select stuff and I can't click on them, because I don't want them, I'm not going to move them at this point. White Rabbit. Brush metal effect. Brush metal. That's the word I was looking for, Brody. Brush metal. All right. So let's go to your type tool over on the left, and if you hold it down, you'll get type on a path. So we're going to play with this. You want the first type on the path. You don't want vertical type on the path just yet, 'cause we're going to go around the circle, right? So click that, and this is where we're going to have to kind of play around with it and see how much of this we can actually read and stuff as we lay it out, because his ears are overlapping the text here. So I'm going to type in Josh Bruce, and I wanted to use Futura font. So, and I'm going to open the type palette, and change it to all caps. You know what we might do? Object, unlock all. So you can see what I'm doing here. We're gonna move this guy kind of out of the way for now, so we can just see the type here. I'm gonna show you some tricks with it. So you'll notice when I just clicked on the path, it just stuck the text. It started the text wherever I clicked on the path, right? So that was almost, there was a sneeze there. Okay. So first off, I want to make the text larger. So I'm going to double click it to select it, and then I'm just going to kind of pump it up here. And I forgot to put a space between his first name, last name. I don't even know if Josh has any idea I'm doing this on stream, so he might get a kick out of this later. And we'll just kind of get the text to, like, just, you know, find a size that's big enough to work on this. You might want to also play with the spacing. So the letter spacing, we might turn that up a hair. I don't know. It's kind of what you prefer, but it gives a little more readability, because you'll notice that the bottom of the letters, when they're on a curve, they get pretty close. And everything looks good, but you can tell the C and the E for this font are awfully close. So if you want to like center this up and have your text start and stop in different places, you'll notice, see these lines hanging off of here? This line over here is the center point. So you have your start and your stops. It took me a while to get used to this and figure out what this was doing. But once you figure this out, typing on a path, you can do so much with it. You type on banners, you know, you type on like round things and on shapes and make crazy stuff. But if you understand how these are working, you can do some cool stuff. So I'm going to center this text up. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to come to Paragraph tab and just center it like you would, you know, like a Word doc, right? Then you go back to Selection tool, and I can grab this center point. I can move it around the guide here, and if you notice that, you can flip it to the inside as well. That's how you flip the text to the inside. But I want it on the outside, and boom, now it's centered up. Now my start and stop are down here. Now say say you wanted to give yourself kind of like some guardrails here, right? And you want to make sure that whatever you type isn't gonna like go into these sections. You can grab the start and stop, and you'll notice, like, I'm gonna move it here. You'll notice that it's centering up, and if I move it too far, you'll see the words start to disappear. So that's kind of like my safety, like that, right? So text is centered up. Let's double check it's centered up. It's on the guide. We'll do the alignment tool one more time, just double check, and now we've got text. So we can already see that you can see the original outline of the cat's ear is, the S is almost gone. So we're going to play with this a little bit. We might size the whole thing up, and the outside circle looks like it's going to come up to kind of like that. Let me just toggle this so we can see it. And if you're scaling like this, be careful, because it's scaling the letter size too. But you're just kind of looking for, I'm just trying to center the text in between this, now this kind of white, there's your donut, this white circle. Kind of like that. There we go. So thinking I want to give this one more space, and since we lost letters, I'm going to turn the font down a bit, because I want to put like a star or something right there. This almost looks like a skateboard wheel, which is pretty cool. So let's see. Let's move this dude back and see what we got to do with type. So the text is like gone, so we're going to have to play around with this. And the original sketch I had is probably not going to work, so I'm going to start bumping all of these circles up. And we'll find kind of a happy medium. And just play around with font size, your combination of font size and overall do something like that. I think I'm actually gonna bump this up a little more. Do something like that. Another thing we can do is I'm gonna tuck these. On the space here. Oh, do I have 2 spaces there? That's part of my problem. We can kind of like, we're gonna cheat this a little bit so it's not completely centered vertically anymore. Now we get some of the letters to show up again, and the music stopped. There you go. So there we go. We got some text in there. That's pretty cool, Season. That's that's a monster. To hide your object, select the object and hit Control 3. Option Control 3. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. Also makes it editable while it is hidden. Well, I'll have to try it. I'll have to be careful with that though, because if it's editable still, that means I'll still like mess it up. White Rabbit is a free development Adobe released before CC. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Okay, so you do Photoshop, not Illustrator. So it's I'm finding that it's and that was pretty cool, Season. It's good to get in the habit of learning both programs. So if you're gonna learn Photoshop, it helps to learn Illustrator as well. So we had a couple. Let's see. Our best method for figuring this part out. So I'm just gonna do a line through here. And we'll size this up. Okay. That's about right. Object, path, outline, stroke. All right, and then I've got, just to make sure, I've got some edges here. I'm gonna take a copy of this outside ring, Control C, Control F, object, arrange, bring to front, and we're gonna use this to crop this new line. So go back to your Pathfinder, and there should be crop on here somewhere. Crop, there we go. And I can ungroup that because I think there might be yeah. So it makes this invisible state sometimes. A way to get rid of that stuff is select one and go to select, same, fill and stroke, and you'll notice it grabbed the top one too, and I'm just going to delete it, and then I can move this one back, and then we're going to move it backwards. It's about there. Now we can put some type on top of it. This outside ring though, I think I want that on the outside because we might thicken that up. So let's move the cat down some more. And it's getting there. We're slowly building it. You gotta kind of keep going back and forth, tweaking text here and there, making everything kind of work and fit. You don't usually get everything on first try. Sometimes you might. I never do. So we'll do something like that. And another thing I might do is the way the cat head has now kind of fallen. What happens if we just widen him just a hair? So see how these little edges pop out? Before we finalize this thing, I might just get rid of those edges. I'll leave the main ear hanging over, but it does make for just, I don't know, kind of a little more noise than we need. So those little outlines there, I might get rid of them at some point. All right, so another thing I want to do is I want to look at this text and I want to look at the font size. I've got it set to 58, so I got to remember that. So I'm going to write down 58 because we're going to do a font on the bottom. Andrew, I drew the cat. So there was a quick sketch as I dump everything off my desk. sure. So we did a quick sketch, or I did a quick sketch earlier this morning, just to try to figure out where this guy would go. And it's based off of our buddy Inkbite's drawing he did. So we're turning it into a logo, and this was his 60-minute warm-up that he did one morning, I guess. I missed the stream, sad. But I asked him if we could like make this into a mascot or something. So we're using his painting as the basis or as the theme for our little logo thing. That's the plan, anyways. So we'll go back to the cat, and we might want to. I might want to tweak some of this, like his ears. I don't know. I want to come back and do some cleanup. But anyhow, let's just keep going. So I'm gonna make a copy of this text. And how did you said Control-3 hides it, but it's still editable? Okay, I can't edit it. Control-Alt-3 brings it back. That is interesting. I would have to get used to it, to be honest, because I would totally forget I got stuff there. Yep. Syndicate cereal spoon. Yeah, I did. That's me. Evan, can we make you into a mascot? Of course. I want to see it. Sora, do I only stream on Adobe now? No, sometimes on my personal channel, but not as often as I used to. Actually, I never really did all that often, to be honest. I just never had time. So it is much more on Adobe. Yes, my own Twitch channel is just Evan Eckerd. So maybe if he'd be really cool to Swan Meat, he'll post it. Let's see. Send me a picture, Aiden. I'll turn you into a mascot. Oh, Swifty, you DM me stuff? Let me see. See, this is what Swifty does. Man, this is too cool. Check that out. See, playing with halftones. I see a lot of offset path here. That's really cool, bud. Then you add this one. That's awesome. You got the little nicks out of the meat cleavers. Gave it, they look metallic. Stars going around. Do you remember, Swifty, do you remember the John Cusack movie, was it Better Off Dead, where he worked at Pig Burgers? It reminds me of that. If not, oh, that's cool. He's got one more of a sketch. Yeah, I like the banner behind there. Homicide Club. That grin's awesome. With the broken teeth. Is this a Band-Aid on his head? That's perfect. So this ring behind him, is there going to be anything along that? I wonder what you're going to put there. That looks pretty cool. Nice. See, you guys got to follow Swifty, I'm telling you. And you got to talk him into streaming more. Because you can learn some cool stuff from him. Okay, let's get back to the text here. So I wanted to put just the word warming up behind here. So I'm going to hit Control-C, Control-F, and I now have pasted a duplicate layer of the text in front. So I'm going to press Control-2 and just lock it. And we should have a new layer here. So what I want to do is I wanted warming up to be on the inside, right? So this is where I haven't really found another way to do this yet. So maybe Swifty, if you know, you can let me know. Let's see. Let's leave it here for now. I'm gonna size this up, and it's fighting me. That. So we remembered the font size of the other one, so I can punch in 58, and if we're lucky, it'll fit. I'm going to bump up the letter spacing, maybe to something like that. And it looks kind of, see, we're going to have to come in and kind of tweak some of this kerning because the A and the R are too far apart. We'll knock that down a little bit. Actually, do we need a space here? Yeah, I guess we do, but we're also going to take the letter spacing off the blank space. So there we go. There's a quick method to getting type on both sides. Band-Aids on Mountain. Oh, let's see. Your video game addiction has ran its course. I understand that. All right, so now that we have the bottom text here, I'm gonna play around with sizing on this a little bit. Oh, did I just grab? Okay, no. So now we might be able to get away with making the cat a little bit bigger. And I don't feel bad about him covering the warming up a little bit. Again, we're doing this awfully quick. If I was doing this like for client work, I'd spend a lot more time doing cleanup, but we're just like trying to knock this out to see how it'll work. All right, so one of the last little things I had was I wanted to write 60 minute is what I had. And I wanted to use a different font, and I'm thinking I might want to thicken up. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, thicken up that outline. All right, so the other font I had in mind is, well, there's two fonts. I don't know which one I want to use. There's one called Sanchez that I like, and then there's one that I did. We might do that one. So I'm just going to type 60. And if memory serves, I think that's the one I called Solano. Was it Solano? Don't. No, it wasn't Solano. What was it? It's a serif font. Is it Roadhouse? I think it was Roadhouse. Yes. So I'm going to use this font. So something a little different than the Futura font. So 60. And it's a little bit wide over here, so we're going to have to play around with this. I want to keep them the same size. So what I'm going to do is for the sake of time, let's see, can I grab that? Let's just we're gonna kind of cheat it a little bit. We're gonna just bump it up vertically. And actually, it's not falling apart on us, so we can do this. I don't want to stretch it too far though. All right. And when you're done working with text, sometimes, well, not if you want to turn it into a shape real quick, press Control Shift and letter O, and that will turn your type into shape. So I want to line this on this one. Yeah, there we go. And this one I'm going to turn it to a shape. I'm also going to align it. You know what? Is this font? Yeah, Mark, it's getting kind of scary. Hold on, bear with me. I'm trying to remember if... Okay, no, this font was a paid-for font I made, I guess. I couldn't remember if I had done this one for free, so we're using this one, Roadhouse. If you guys want to use it. I thought I did. I thought I had one similar for free. Oh, I'm thinking of Brawley. That's the one. Ooh, Brawley would have fit too. Ah, well, we'll use that for a different one. So, there we go. It's not perfect, but I I showed you the basics. Let's see. A boat safety throw ring. You mean what do you call it? Why can't I think of what that's called? It's not oh man, what is that called now? Life something? Lifesaver? No, that's the candy. I don't know. Let's see. Life Beyonce. So, see, in hindsight, we probably would have like made this text fit a little better. It's just kind of dropped in there for now. But yeah. So, and then I guess we could throw in a couple details. You know, just for fun. Reflect. We don't want it to be totally symmetrical. Maybe something like that. I wonder if these will look better if they're pink. It looks like fur. We'll leave them white. So we're also just sticking to a couple colors. All right, so object, unlock all. I feel like we should put something in between his first name and last name. So let's put some spacing back in. Let's bump this up to maybe just a star or something. Stars are classy. All right, so a quick way to make a star is to go to your shape tool over here and hold it down, and you'll get star tool. Easy, right? Click once. Look, you have options. Let's turn the radius to, I don't know, 35, 5 point. Okay. Nope. Radius to 27. I'm just picking numbers. Nope. Oh, I got them mixed. Wait, this isn't right. There it is. Object, transform. Actually, we'll just use the rotate palette. We'll just eyeball this. Whoop, we have a star. Hooray! There we go. Josh Bruce. 60-minute warming up. It does look like the Converse logo. What is it? Kind of. Well, yeah. Yep. Like that. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's the same thing. I mean, it's just these little circle symbol emblem things. Thingamajigs. Alright. Time to stretch. Okay. Finds a shoe and throws it at the camera. So I was looking around because I do have Converse, and I couldn't remember if I had a pair in here. I've been wearing a lot of Vans lately, though. Alright, guys. Comic Sans glyphs, wingdings. Oh man, there's a It's not Wingdings. There's an Adobe font that I used to use, and it had a bunch of like little filigree stuff, and I don't remember what that font was called. It's called Woodcut? Wood type? Maybe? Oh. We used to use that font all the time just because we just like append the little filigree things to like stuff, and it got pretty overboard actually. Let's see. These aren't quite centered. Let's move up just a bit. There we go. So like other things you could do is you could play around with, say, like you can make the bottom half of this circle pink if you want to keep two color, and then make the text white. Might look cool. Stuff like that. But actually, I'm curious. I want to see what this looks like on a t-shirt, just for fun. And I have a t-shirt mock-up that I like to use. Hopefully the stream won't crash when I'm loading all this stuff up at once. I apologize if it like stutters. Let's see. I gotta find it. Photoshop's still loading. Okay. Hopefully that didn't cause like the stream to like break up for a few seconds. What kind of cut do you ask for at the barber? Short on the sides and the back. That's about it. You tweeted a sketch at me, Crypto? Let me look. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Is this like finger bones around, like, it looks like surgical down here. And then I like the eyeball. Even just doing, dude, what you should try, isolate the eyeball and then just put that in a shape. And then try putting text around it and see what you come up with. Because this reminds me of like an old skate graphic. The eyeball part. You could still put like the fingers in there too. But like if you took some of this out, I could totally see some sort of like what we've been working on here. And everything just minimized. Why did I do that? All right. So I have a men's front. All right. So we're just gonna. I just want to see what this looks like real quick. T-shirt mock-up. You can get T-shirt mock-ups pretty much anywhere these days. Photoshop T-shirt mock-ups. And this one's cool. I like using this one. And we're just gonna kind of see what it looks like for fun. Turn the brightness up. Let's see, it's half and half, and yeah, with the finger. That's pretty cool. Just turn this way up. All right. The cool thing about Illustrator is I can just grab this stuff, and we do need to make a overall background of this. So Control C, Control F, Object, Arrange, Send to Back, turn that to white. Make sure nothing's locked. And Smart Object. Boom, there we go. Josh has a t-shirt. You see it looks cool on a black shirt though, where the black parts you wouldn't print, so you just let the shirt come through. And that looks pretty nice. I do a lot more work on it to clean it up, but you know, that's pretty cool. So yeah, all right. So let's jump into the other one, because I'm anxious to get going on it a little bit. But before we do that, do you guys have any questions or anything? or just want to tell me something or show me something before I get rolling on the next one. Rodrigo, that's pretty cool. I can't show it on stream though. It's not safe for work. That's really cool. When you get done vectorizing, it looks like a really angry Tweety. I want to see what he looks like. This looks cool. All right, so we'll just close this out. Save for now. I will go ahead and close Photoshop so I can save some of my processor speed. Just thinking, save this out. And this next one is kind of, I doubt we're gonna get it done. We only have an hour left, but I wanted to at least put a dent in it. The Neversoft logo. What, the cat thing? It was wood type. Yeah, wood type ornaments. Thanks, Binos. Oh, man. They had two of them, didn't they? Didn't they have wasn't there like another version of that font or something? Or maybe it was like just uppercase and lowercase. I don't remember. It's been a while. How to create a pattern within a shape without going outside the lines. In Illustrator, I don't quite remember how to do that. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Piece I did last year, thought you might find it cool. Yeah, Sora, send it over. Find entry-level graphic design positions. Ooh. Look for, well, I mean, there's always places looking for interns. Look for in the title, they sometimes they'll call it junior. So like a junior designer or a junior you know, UI designer, web designer. Junior might be a keyword to look for. Let's see. Everything's starting to slow down a little bit, so let me close some stuff out. And it is dumping rain outside. Holy cow. Okay. Hopefully, so I'm going to create a new document again. And since this is like all scalable, I mean, the size is really your preference. So I'm just using a pixel dimension size for the screen, just, I don't know, so I can see it. And if I do use any raster effects, so I've got them set to 300 ppi, even though I don't think I'm going to be using anything like that. Okay. Got to think about it. All right. Control R. I'm lagging a bit. Come on. Catch up. Control R. Let's save this one out. And this one's going to be a little more complicated. I might take my time on this one. Well, I will take my time on this one. Where'd my dialogue go? Where'd the box go? Okay, there it is. I'm gonna call this one badge. Okay. All right. So this one, and let's jump back to here. So this is the one that you might have saw on the Twitter. This one has a little more going on in it. We're gonna do that guy. Man, I cannot ever do this right. There we go. So you can tell when I sketched it, all the like all the corners are like, the curves are all messed up. So we're gonna fix all that in this next one, and that's the goal. That's what we're gonna do. Thank you, Aiden. Do you have any teas with your artwork besides syndicates? Maybe like on Teespring or something. Like I have some that are in the works. Like that guy behind me is a thing that's gonna be on a shirt thing. All right, let's move this back. Drink some water real quick. Yeah, I do have a couple there. Older designs designed by humans. Man, I haven't looked at it in a while. Bust that out with fills instead of strokes. What out with fills? What? Swifty, I'm not following. What's up, Bacon? All right. Yeah, Brody, you might. I don't even remember what that link is, to be honest. For those shirts. Yes. Okay, so Matt here is a fan of Greg Mike. I am also a huge fan of Greg Mike. He's got some of the, if you like the monster type stuff, the little cartoony monster things, he has some of the best artwork. He's got a series where he painted faces on cans. You got to check him out. I love this, Matt. And he does this. He uses like highly saturated colors, and it's really cool. Also, if you play the game The Division, you might see Loudmouth on some of the walls in the game, which I thought was pretty cool. So they used Ubisoft or Massive used some of his artwork in the in Destiny, or not Destiny, in The Division, like as graffiti and stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, so I very much like that, Matt. Really cool. Craig, you said something. What'd you say, Craig? Yeah, do you remember the White Walkers one? That was a fun one. That took me quite some time to do. That would have been that was a feat. Okay, so I'm gonna open. I have the sketch ready somewhere. Where's my open dialog? There it is. Got too many screens. Oh, before I do that though, I have this really important photo I wanted to show you guys. It's I don't know. It's a photo that's just near and dear to me, and there you go. I had to save that out. Okay, where is this sketch? I keep going to the wrong folder. I'll find it. I think I just called it badge, which is why I named this file badge. Where are you? Oh, okay, I didn't save out. No, I saved it as a JPEG. I know I saved this out. Where is it? Because I saved it out as a JPEG, so I wouldn't have to open the PSD in case like this, in case my computer started slowing down on me. Hold on one sec. Oh, I know where it went. I know where you are. This guy. All right. I knew it was in there somewhere. Luke, yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check your dribble out here in a bit. Okay, so we're gonna work on this guy, and I had made some notes on it. It's gonna take I want to get this pretty slick. So let's do the same thing. We're going to kind of align it. And it really helps to like sketch stuff out first. When you just jump into a computer and try to draw it, I don't know. It seems like pencil and paper, and just getting ideas down on paper just works better, at least for me. So view guides. I gotta remember that. It's Alt Control that, right? There we go. Okay, let's find our center point again. Lock those guys back. And lock this new layer. So this will be kind of interesting on how we do all this stuff. And I want to put some text down in here, which is why I left it blank. But I don't know if that's going to work. We're going to try to make it work. But we're going to do the same thing where we type on a path. We're just probably going to make 2 paths. Or actually, no, we can keep it 1 path, and then just we'll have to work on spacing. I'm going to try to use the same line thickness like we did on the last one. So I'm going to pick a line thickness that works for all of this stuff, and then use a thinner line for these 2 areas. But beyond that, that's pretty much the only line weights I want to use, right? I want to just use the line weight here and here. So I'm going to write those down when I get to them, and see how that'll work. This font will be probably computer, like some installed font I have. These, I don't know. I might have to, we might do that custom. So, how do we want to do it? All right, so I want to make a shape. I think I want to go ahead and make a shape for this side. No, you know what? Let's start on the ghosty dude, because he's going to dictate kind of the direction we take this angle. So it's gonna be kind of tricky. We'll see how we get to it. Let's see. Which sweatshirt? Oh yeah, I forgot you got one, Craig. Man. Oh, Brody got one too. Nice. Man, I gotta go back and even figure out what that link was. Yeah, there was a. Did I put the bear design on there? Evan, like I said, I like cats. What can I say? Rework of Mooby the cow. That would be cool. Thank you, Swan Meat, for the shout out there. I have a feeling that stuff isn't posting like it's supposed to on the old Twitter feed. Is it? No, it's posting. Okay. All right. I'm hesitating a little bit because I know this is going to be like a. This is going to be one of those. A lot of finessing, because if you've watched Travis stream, that dude knows the inside and out of Illustrator, and I'm still learning, always learning. But it's fun. Illustrator's a fun program. I'm gonna get this curve right. That. I don't know. Can you guys hear that? It sounds like white noise. It is just a monsoon happening outside. You know what? Because I want to get this symmetrical, I should do the other side first, because it's a little bit longer. And let's zoom out so I can see this. I can get the whole path. This. It's gonna be tricky because we're gonna end up building around. The shield gets built around the shape of the ghost dude. So unlike the last one where it was just a circle and then we fit the cat in the circle. This one, it's gonna be hinged on the whole shape of this little character. So we're going to Control C, Control F, and you'll see that when I paste this over, I overshot the other side. Whoa, there was some lightning. Okay, if I'm gonna apologize ahead of time, Swammeat, if my power goes out. But yeah, unless someone is shooting flash photography through my window, I'm in an area where rain is extremely rare. So, and there's thunder. Woo, yeah. So fingers crossed we got it for another 40 minutes. If I like disappear though, I warned you. Okay, so see how I stopped right there? What I want to do is, since these two are coming together, I'm going to take this line, select it, object, transform, arrange, bring to front. Now if I hit Control Y, this is where I like to use the joined points. Andrew, no, this is Illustrator. Swifty. Yeah, that is the one gripe I have with the Wacom Companion. I was trying to watch. My mom was telling me about the Sherlock series, and it was on Netflix. And I was stuck in a hotel room, and I was thinking, "Oh, I'll watch that." And then I realized, I got the volume all the way up on the browser and the Companion, and I can still barely hear it. I was like, I can see their mouths moving. Why can't I not hear anything? So yeah, the speakers on. I gotta remember next time that if I'm gonna watch something on the Companion, which is kind of funny, you know, because we buy it to draw on. We don't how often are we gonna watch stuff on it? But yeah, I gotta remember just to bring a portable speaker with me or something. Because you should be able to Bluetooth those things, right? Because the little keyboard is Bluetooth, so you just Bluetooth a speaker to it. What's up, Inner Heaven? Nice to see you. Tap C for the cut tool. Brutality, I think you and me have to have a conversation later, and you got to tell me all about this stuff. Because I learned on this method, and the method you're talking about sounds like something that I need to figure out. I guess it also depends on when the cut tool came around. That's been there for a while, right? So, what was that, C? Oh, look at that. Yep. So, oh, nice. Is there a shortcut for that? So pressing C added a point there. I like that. Okay, I remember that, bud. That's gonna come in handy. Let's see. Biggest difference between Illustrator and Photoshop, Adobe. So Andrew, the main difference that is like night and day is that Illustrator is vector based, which is why I'm drawing in these little points, and it's made for taking, making a vector object and being able to scale it way up or way down, and it keeps its sharpness and it keeps the curves because it's point information. So unlike Photoshop, which is all raster based, and raster based meaning it's built off pixel information. So you work in Illustrator when you're making things like logos, like illustrations that you need to scale up. So more of the the graphic type stuff. Not like paintings and stuff you would still do in Photoshop. Photo manipulation you would still do in Photoshop because it's pixel based. But stuff like this, you would use Illustrator for that. You can do this in Photoshop, but then you're stuck on the biggest you'll ever be able to print it is however big you made it in the program. So because you can't really, you can kind of fudge it here and there and scale things up and down a little bit without it like deteriorating. But since it's pixel based, you can't actually, you know, because when think about it, when Photoshop, when you go to scale up a photo in Photoshop, right? Your original photo has pixel information in it, so it's got the little dots of color. When you scale anything up, Photoshop is trying to guess what dots of color it should put in between each pixel, right? Because the pixel size doesn't change. So the more you scale something up, those pixels like go further and further apart. And Photoshop is guessing what pixels should be in between there to fill the image. So that's how Photoshop works. Illustrator is points. So it's like it's kind of like blueprinting, I guess, is a way to describe it. 3D software is more, you know, point based. So it's like that. So that's why we're building it in here, because now I can grab, once I'm done with this graphic, I can grab it and I can like make it super big. I can make it, you know, small, and it will retain its sharpness. So that was kind of a super long-winded, but I hope it helped. Okay, so I'm gonna offset path again because we're gonna give this an outline, and 10 pixels is let's go 8. Maybe we should go 10. I don't know. Something about even numbers as well. Yeah, let's go 10. All right. So now we have the path around him, so the outline, and let's work on his. Actually, well, we should. Well, last time we didn't do this part. We kind of skipped a step that I think we should figure out here. So I want to keep line consistency, right? So like his eyeball here, which is going to start as just a perfect circle. If I bump the outline of this up to 10, is it too big? That might be too big. So, and I want these outlines for this style that I'm trying to go after. I'm thinking I want these outlines to be just as thick as the main outline. So if we bump this down to 8, because I want this to look like it was like drawn with a big fat Sharpie marker, and it's the same width all the way around, you know, and we're trying to get that look. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do 8. I think I'm kind of breaking the rules a little bit. I think I want to leave this 10 for now, though. So let's do that. So with here, I'm going to keep this as it is because I like just the circle. So we're going to start with just that. And we want to follow this path. We're using the pen tool again, and we're drawing kind of the shadow where his eye lands. Let me check the Twitter. If you guys tweeted something at me. Craig. Oh, I love it. Using Sketchbook Pro on your phone. Man, on your phone. I'm amazed. That's pretty cool. Oh man, that's like everybody give a round of applause to Craig. Oh, I dig it. That's cool. That's funny. I love it. I'm gonna print it out and put it on my wall behind me. Let's see. I want to play with corners a little bit, maybe to soften these up. So I remember that too. I'm using half a pixel, 0.5 up here in corners. And let's see, I'm gonna go right in the middle of the line I drew. To start the base of this next eyeball. So we did 8. 8 is huge. I'm doing this because it's like really dumping rain. All right, let's try this. Sorry, I'm like getting kind of worried because it's like it's looking nasty outside. So I'm kind of like looking like fear. Really hoping the power doesn't go out. Oh, I already outlined that. Now that is a lazy eye. Yep. We're gonna keep it like fat like that though. I think that's got some character to it. I'm going to round it. Yep. Object, path, outline, stroke. Let's see. Probably be one of the guys that do I what? I think I missed something. Is it? No, that's thunder. Yeah, thunder. It's sounding kind of scary. Fudge that just a little bit. Yep. All right. Everybody, cross your fingers. Power stays on. Oh, speaking of which, Control S. Okay, you guys gotta remind me to save like every 30 seconds now, because I don't know what we got. It could be pretty bad. Oh man. So we're just building this shape around his eyeball, and I don't want these corners to be sharp. So let's see if we can. We were using 0.5 to kind of round them up a little bit, and that. So let's zoom out. You always gotta, like, once you get in like really close, zoom in and out and make sure that you're still like on target. Sometimes what you might want to do is you know what, do I want this symmetrical? If I'm working on something, I just like I even sitting like this close sometimes will mess me up. And I'll zoom in and out, and you know, things are just like they're not quite there or whatnot. And even just like leaving it full screen on your screen and then stepping away, and like backing up in the room and getting a better like view of it, sometimes that helps. So I would suggest trying that sometimes. And this one I'm actually gonna fudge it a little bit. And that was too much. I don't like what that's doing to the corner. let's put this on the outside and then kind of come in. All right. It's really my stomach. Let's see. All right, what am I missing here? I'm backing up in the chat just so I can see if I've missed any questions. Looks like you guys are having some conversations, which is awesome. Hey, Brutality, can you message me at Twitter what your Instagram URL is? And any of you guys that have Instagram, Twitter them at me so I can check them out and follow. Thank you, Save. Good call. All right. So now this is kind of experimental what I'm trying to do here. So as far as keeping the line widths, so it may not work, but I'm attempting to try it. Now it's hailing. Either that or somebody's throwing rocks at my house. Oh yeah. Man, it is coming down. It hasn't come down like this in a while. So 0.5 and Control S. This side, I can hear my kids like freaking out. What is going on? I get the feeling one of them's going to come in and like tell me the obvious here in a sec. All right, 0.5. Save. There we go. Are you sure your house hasn't teleported to the UK? You're supposed to have a drought. What's funny is it's rained really good this year, and I bet we're still going to be considered in drought mode. That's how behind California is. California's been in a drought for quite a while, and it would have to rain for a long time, like, you know, a consistent. I can't talk. A consistent amount of months or days or to build up the water table. Mark, this design's getting scary, dude. It's cool though. Mark keeps posting. He was the one playing with the. He's urban, playing with the gradients and the shield type look, the brushed metal. Half hour, Storm. Come on, just give me a half hour, then you can dump all the power. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this down just a hair, like that. See this shape here. Are you still here, Swamp Meat? color is not staying. Red color where? Oh, okay. Well, it's probably just a heads up. I could like, if I get cut off out of nowhere, let it be said I didn't do it on purpose. He's outside throwing sandbags around. We got this. Oh, it's funny. I can't even think. It's like, I'm going to do this part differently, I think, because I've got the space above. Let's go like this. These two, I think we're going to use offset path here. Object, arrange, bring to front. All right. Object, path, offset path. And we had that at 8. Let's do 8. Okay. And a black outline. So now we can take, I'm going to steal this path. I'm going to Control C, Control F. Why didn't it paste that? Control C, make sure maybe Control C didn't stick. Control F, all right. This I need to send to the back. Object, arrange, send to back, and we're going to merge them. And then I have this path here now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of I'm just going to do this. And I go to here and I hit trim and group. Now that should leave us with just object, arrange, send to back. There we go. Now we should just have his teeth. There we go. They're a little big. No. They look kind of cool, actually. Yep, it's Wizard of Oz mode. I bet there's a hood you can buy. I need some red shoes that I can click back and forth when I get sucked out of here. So you see these little corners of his mouth? It's like he's kind of like biting into his lip, you know, like that. I'm sure you get little edges. We're gonna use. Let's try using the. I don't know, just for fun, the profile again, the stroke profile. So I'm gonna draw a little shape like that, and we're gonna change this to just outline. Oh, I got it. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this now. We're gonna bump this up to 8, and there's another profile here we can use. See how it is like this? It's just tapered on one end. So we're gonna click that, and it's tapered the wrong way. What do we do? There's this button here. See the little arrow button? Click the arrow button, and boom, flipped it the other way. So there we go. We have that little corner. So Control C, Control F, Object, Transform, Reflect, Vertical, whoop, and we got the other side. There we go. See how easy that was? So that comes in handy. If you've noticed, sometimes if you like illustrators that are more like if you watch Hydro's work, or if you watch like my buddy Jared works under the name Sueda. They use these. Well, pretty sure they do. They use stroke profiles. So say you want to do something like this, right? And this comes in handy. You can do. One printer friend called it scalloping, where it's basically another way to make a. Man, the Twitch stream is loading for me. I hope I'm still alive. I think I am. You can do something like this. So you can make a shading effect. Okay, stream is back up. So see how I used a stroke profile, and then you can do stuff like Control C, Control F, Control C, Control F, Control C, Control F, Control C, Control F, and now you have, you know, you can shade that way. So like if you put this against, you know, say we went like this, object, arrange, send to back. Oh, wrong one. You know, like that. So that's how they get kind of that effect. So this allows you to have uniform, you know, shading, and that comes in handy when you're doing like shadow, like say maybe the overlap of a banner. You can use it there. You could use it like I could have. I couldn't really use it in this design. Well, I did. I used it like right there. That's just one though, right? But it's kind of like another method that is a halftone. Let me get that, and then you can you know, bump it up or down. So stroke profiles come in handy for when you want to do stuff like that. Oh yeah, Control plus D. I was actually just hitting Control F and then keying it over. Blend tools are fun. Actually, let me do that. Instead of, if you guys haven't played with a blend tool, you can do some pretty cool stuff with the blend tool. Before that, I want to show you Tosco's face here. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is the greatest mustache I have ever seen. I love it. Ooh, that's cool. That's almost, that looks like chalk drawing almost. Did you guys hear that thunder? Holy cow. That's pretty cool. Oh, so, all right. I'm going to, got your Instagram. Nice. Blend tools can be super addicting, and they can be tons of fun. If you've never used blend tool, let's see. I'm looking to see if anybody in the chat talked about you've gotten into blend tool. Blend tool, I like them for making like crazy like curve stuff, like spirograph type stuff. This is just like this is like super stupid quick. Just like that. Okay, so we got two shapes. I haven't used it in a while, but all right. So you got two shapes. You can go to object. The one I like is steps. So if you go to blend options, like you can make some cool stuff. And I can't get too crazy. I know that this is like processor heavy. Say you want to go specified steps, and then you want to do like 20. Okay. And then you can go to object, blend, and then make. And you can start making like super like just crazy shapes and stuff. This is really cool for making like you know, like money backgrounds and stuff. Grab this one. And this can get addicting. Like you can do like weird spirograph stuff, and every time it's reacting to, you know, every time I move a point, you get kind of like mesh type stuff. So I don't know. You might want to like blend tool is like a lot of experimenting, but it's pretty cool how that works. And then it retains like the stroke weight, right? So I can go. Like I can take the stroke way down on one end. I'll blend it together. It does some really cool stuff. Or you can keep it all uniform. Since I grouped it. Come on, go back. I'll do it separately. But yeah, so if you haven't gotten a chance to play with the blend tool before, try it out. It's pretty cool. That's shaking my whole house. I'm amazed I still have power. Yeah, or kind of like the, you know, like the sine wave looking stuff. You can, that's barely just even scratching the surface. But there's so many little tools in here that it's crazy. Did you send me something else, Swifty? Well, that's cool. Is this? Yeah, is this all stroke profile back here? Yeah. Is that yeah, it's cool. So like how you did the shading here. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so what we just showed on the stroke profile, that's what Swifty did here. He just man, that's a lot of shapes. So these are all paths, right? And then you just had one end set to taper, right? And then you probably expanded it and just fills. I don't use stroke profiles. Oh, I thought you'd send me this for stroke profiles. Regardless, it looks cool. But like the eye, did you use blend tool in the eye, or is this a bunch of paths just overlapping? Did you hear that, Ted? Did you hear that shake my house? Yeah, it hasn't been this crazy in a while. Man. Some good work, Swifty. Alright. Let's get this, at least get the little ghosty guy done. So fills, you're gonna have to catch me up after hours, Swifty. By fills, do you mean you're making like a like you're filling with elements, right? Like I can't think right now. My brain is shutting down. Like patterns, all right? Is that what you're doing? That's blend tool. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and merge these. Did I merge all this stuff? Yeah, Control S. So for this guy, I want to leave. We'll just turn this not green. Object range, send to back. All right. So I need to put whites of his eyes in here. That green is bright. Where's my color? There is a. It's like a sea green. Where's HSB? There we go. Moving these off real quick. Might be another way to do this, but I can do it this way. I'm using like a bunch of different methods to do one thing. All right. I made a copy of these just in case I needed them. I didn't need them. There we go. And this is still too green. There we go. Ghost guy. All right, and saved. Yep. So we got. Is Ink 1 on after me? I think Ink 1 is on, right? Let me check the schedule. Ink 1. Is it Ink 1? Yes, Ink 1 is doing Just Draw. No. Yes. I was looking at Friday. Saturday. He'll be on right after me at 9 PST PM, left coast, US, -8. Well, I feel accomplished that we did get this far, to be honest, because I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get into this one all that much. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to try to build this shape around here. Let's see if we can at least get the outline. And I want to follow his ear. So I think I want to keep that angle, and then bump this up to 10. So, keep the angle, and then what is it, C? Ah! So now did that just make it a separate... Oh, who? All right, where'd you go? Who? Brutality, thank you. Yep, the shape builder tool I have yet to get into yet. That's on my list to figure out. There's Ink 1. Nice. Alright, so this other shape, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I think I want to grab... I don't know if this will work, to be honest. If I grab... I want to start with this path. No, you know what? It might be best just to draw it. Let's see if this works. That's awfully close. Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, trying to figure out if I like it or not. I don't like so much overlap here, so let's go zoom out. You know what? I think I want to do something else. I think I want to leave that. There might be another method here. Try this method. All right, Control Alt J to average. We got about 10 minutes left. Control J. And I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but if I go path, outline stroke, and then essentially turn this into border. Kind of see, and I think I have to put this on the inside. Yep, it's gonna be getting this kind of area is gonna be a little tricky, but I think it'll work. Let me look at my outlines. Yeah, it might work. I'm gonna keep building off this for now. I should have overshot this a little more though. So this point lines up. Let's see. Kind of just fudge it a little bit. Good old Illustrator. Why does it say 2015 on the side? Oh, because that's when I like made this up. Where do you see 2015? Or were you talking about something else? Oh, the shortcut to see the outlines is Control Y on PC, so you can toggle back and forth. Is the reflect tool, is it just O? I'm gonna break something. Okay, so if you hold shift, it'll lock it. Learn something new every day. And now if I can just get... So, since I changed that side though, I'm gonna have to cut this whole thing apart. I think I'm essentially gonna redo it, so I can figure out a good method to I might have to just draw both sides. It's like like in geometry when you have to like dissect shapes. Hover over your center guide. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, we have a few minutes left. I want to check Twitter. If you can't tell, my brain is starting to shut off, and I know I'm going to start breaking things. So, if any of you guys have any more, all right, let's look at Luke's stuff. Luke has some logos on Dribble. I like this one. It's like a... It's almost got that monogram feeling, but it's not. That's pretty cool, Luke. I like this. B. Yep, I like how you're paying attention to the spacing in between each one, that it's all consistent. These are tough though, because sometimes these logos, once you scale them down, you lose that break in between the letters. So that's one thing I always run into, where I make the negative space too tight, and then when I want to shrink it down to, like, say to be a logo in a footer or something, it just looks like one solid shape again. So very cool. I like this. I like how just the shapes look like smooth. You know, they don't look like janky curves like I've got going on over here. Steve sent something else. Ooh, look at this. Swifty. Making me jealous, man. That's cool. So, I'm assuming this is all Illustrator. Most of it, right? Like the how much would you say? How much of this would you say is Illustrator, and how much of this would you say is Photoshop? Like is the kind of shadows on top Photoshop, or is it? Are you doing some sort of blur, or not blur, but well, yeah, you could be doing this all in Illustrator. I'm just curious. All of it is Illustrator. That is really cool, man. Love it. Love how the colors are super bright. All right, let's see what else we got. I just noticed there's some really weird ads on that page too. Let's see, was that all? Anybody else got? We gotta look at, dude. We gotta look at the mustache one more time. I love it. Let's see. All right, right on. All right, guys, we got just a couple minutes. I'm gonna see if I can figure out a method to do this with trying to retain, because I would like to keep everything in a stroke, but I don't think I can. Bring this back to the object, arrange, bring the front. You know what I can do? I guess I could make this all one shape. Let me look at this carefully. I gotta break this part out. Let me just get rid of this for now so I can look at this shape. So I got it. Let's just do this. Let's see if this way I can at least cut it. Just divide it. This side I missed. Let's see. If I make a copy, that's what I'll do. If I make a copy of this, I think I can do it that way. Bring this up. That side is off by just a hair right there. So we'll just worry about half of it. Let me check time. 2 minutes. All right. All right. So this week I'm going to go through this and finish it, and I will post it to Twitter if you guys are interested. And up next we have Ink 1. What are you going to be doing, Ink 1? I don't think I know. Is it posted? Is it posted? I don't know. What are you doing? Oh, there's a title. Just draw. Okay. So, well, it's been a fun night. We got one of them done at least, and I hope you learned some stuff. I definitely always learn stuff when I'm in here looking through Illustrator and learning new things. Where's my phone? So we'll be back next Saturday, and next Saturday at same time, and I think we will both be here, both of us being Travis and I, and I think that'll about do it. All right.